morning, sir.
Okay, here we are going to start the today's lesson. However, when we are doing the course here, we did some mistake. What I did throughout the course is the syllabus. I am going to share with you the syllabus. This is the one, the syllabus I am receiving to you to complete. Higher National Diploma in Accountancy, third year, semester 2. Third year, semester 2, 3204. This is the one I am receiving. I think you are in third year, semester 2. Right? That's the way I think that's starting the course here. According to the syllabus, data communication, communication media, then e-commerce application and security. We are the things we covered here. Now 100% of the syllabus we covered. However, that the last week I am receiving the message that this is not the relevant syllabus to you. Right? Make a neme kino hari syllabus. Therefore, we should have to think what to do. I think all of you are familiar with the situation that whatever the things we did up to now is not relevant to your examination in this semester. But it will be relevant for your next year first semester. Whatever the syllabus, now you can see here, this is relevant to, this one is relevant to the fourth year first semester, but here mention it, third year, semester 2. This is the one syllabus I am receiving to do here. Right. However, there was a mistake. It is not my fault. I did the syllabus content. What I am receiving is very well and covered all the things. 100% I covered now with the past paper questions also. Right? Is it clear now? The point? Right. Therefore, I think your exam is never February or March next year. Until that, we have some time. However, officially, we have only 2 weeks, this week and the next week. Then we should want to stop. Actually, today is the last day. I am supposed to do that today to finish all the things. But because of this information, I am decided that actually in my case I can stop all the things. I will not actually responsible to do the other things also. However, because of you, the students, therefore, I am doing some parts of the syllabus that you want to for the examination. Therefore, I am getting this week, next week, and another extra week to complete some parts of the, especially with the past papers. Some parts we am supposed to cover that for the syllabus that you want to do. In addition to that, when examination comes close, then I will do another revision classes in that time, 1 or 2 revision classes to discuss the past papers also. However, not it is not for any things to reduce to you your exams, past papers. However, your examination papers, I will mark the examination papers. Therefore, it will not affect to much more for your final marks. Also, assignments, I will not going to change it. The assignment, the same assignment I considered as your assignment. You no need to do any other assignments. Therefore, if you are still not submit the assignment, please complete the same assignment. Right? Therefore, I am not giving any new messages, new assignments to you. Right? I think this is the thing I want to inform you. කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ අපිට වැරදිලා තමයි සිලබස් එක මට ලැබිච්ච සිලබස් එක තමයි කරේ ඒක තමයි මම ඉස්සෙල්ලා දාලා පෙන්නේ මේ සිලබස් එකේ හැටියට තියෙන්නේ semester 2 third year semester 2 තියෙන්නේ අපි කරපු ටික තමයි නමුත් ඒක වෙනස් වෙලා තියෙනවා සිලබස් එකේ සිලබස් එක වෙනස් වෙලා නැහැ සිලබස් කරන semesters වෙනස් වෙලා තියෙනවා ඒ අනුව අපිට කරන්න නියමිත වෙලා තියෙන්නේ ඉස්සෙල්ලා semester එකේ කරන්න තිබ්බ එක ඒ අනුව ඒ අදාළක ද examination වලට ඒක ප්‍රශ්න එන්නේ ඒකේ දැන් අපි කරපු එක අදාළ වෙන්නේ 4th year first semester ඊළඟ semester එකේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේ කරනකොට 4th year first semester ඉන්නකොට කරන්න ඕන ටික දැන් කරලා ඉවරයි ඒ නිසා අපි කරපුවා මොනවද අයින් කරන්න එපා note එක past papers ඒ recordings දාපුවා ඔක්කොම ඒවා ඔක්කොම තියාගන්න ඒක අවශ්‍ය වෙනවා 4th year first semester එකට එහෙනම් අපි බලමු revise revision එකක් විදියට හැම syllabus content එකක්ම දැන් කරන්න බැරි වෙයි කොහොම වුණත් අත්‍යවශ්‍ය කොටස් ටික ඔක්කොම කරනවා ඒ අනුව මම note එකත් එක්කම දීගෙන යනවා revision හා සම්බන්ධ past papers සාකච්ඡා කරනවා අපි අර කරපු විදිහටම කරගෙන යමු right okay therefore from that point I am going to start your syllabus that required to the examination first look at the syllabus here this is the one syllabus that you want to cover management information system here in this syllabus having with 5 contents chapter contents 5 chapters there right? Then first chapter is regarding the management information system under that you want to learn information data then types information system the normal system then the types example for different types of systems that's about regarding the chapter 1 then chapter 2 is regarding the system development right then you want to identify methodologies available to develop the information system then here they are discussing in detail the system development methodologies especially they are considered about one methodology called SDLC system development life cycle there are some stages in the SDLC you want to discuss in detail what are the steps in this SD system development life cycle then second chapter then third chapter is second chapter is the longest one they are discussing much detail about the development methodologies. Then third chapter is controls and standards. Here under this chapter, you will learn how manage your information system. Actually, this one, it is somewhat similar to what we are doing under e-commerce security. How you are going to protect your system. What are the controls available to protect in your system? How you can threat, what are the various types of threat available to destroy your system? These things you are going to discuss under this chapter. However, it is somewhat similar to the chapter we discussed under e-commerce security. Right? Therefore, somewhat easier to understand this one. Here, by looking at the chapter 3 here, you can see risk of IT system. Then you won't know what is hackers, then what it is viruses, these things. Right. Then chapter 4 is regarding the information system and competitive position. Here there are some concepts we are discussing how the political, economic, social and technological areas impact with the information system. Then last chapter is regarding the knowledge management and information. Right. The currently another concept called artificial intelligence. This concept is mostly used by the information system to develop their business, to develop their information system. Right? We are discussing about these things under knowledge management and information. Right? These are the things we should want to discuss in this syllabus. Right. Therefore, I am right then. We'll see some question papers also based on this syllabus. Here I am going to show some question papers. First, look at the question paper here. Look at the question paper, this one, 2017 question paper, business system 1. Look at the first question. Define the term business information system. Once you're familiar with what is information system, then you will automatically get an idea about what is business information system. Then list the components of business information system. All the components having with information is available with the business information system. Then once you learn what is information system, it is easily you can say what are the elements of business information system. Then what are the 4 types of information system that can be applied into different layers of an organization and different layers. I think you know what are the layers available with business organization. Low layers, then middle layers, top layers, like that. There are different layers. According to these layers, there are different types of information system. When we should want to identify what are the information system are suitable for lower layers, then middle layers. In that way, you want to define the information systems. Explain the use of information system strategic planning in an organization. Right. These are the type of question. Right. Look at the second question also. Define the term software development methodology. Right. List the common activities in software development process. Then if you know the things, then you can easily write down the answers for this question. Not in deep question only, just they are testing the definitions, the simple facts. Therefore, no need to study in hard, only here expecting simple answers. Right. Look at the question number 4. Also, this one very one line questions here. Defining the term software testing, then characteristic of quality software. And then last question number 5. What is an expert system? Describe two features of data warehousing. Describe the term data mining. Only they are asking the definitions. මේකේ ගොඩක් අමාරු දේවල් නෑ definitions තමයි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අහලා තියෙන්නේ. තව paper එකක් බලන්න. මේක 2018 paper එක. ඒකේ මේ තියෙන define the system. State 3 examples for liveware in computer system. List 4 components of information system. ඒ විදිහට මේකේ තියෙන definitions තමයි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අහන්න තියෙන්නේ. ඒකට ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ දැනට work කරන අය ඉන්නවා. ඒකට ඒ අයගේ තියෙන experience එකත් එක්ක පුළුවන් මේවට තමන්ට හිතලා වුණත් උත්තර ලියන්න පුළුවන් ප්‍රශ්න තමයි තියෙන්නේ. හොඳයි. ඒකට ඒ හැම answer එකක්ම ඔයගොල්ලෝ දෙන මේ මම accept කරනවා. මම ඉස්සෙල්ලත් කිව්වේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මම තමයි exam paper එක ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ බලලා ඒ ලකුණු ලබා දෙනවා කරන්නේ. මේ paper එකට අදාළව. ඒ නිසා මම accept කරනවා ගොඩක් ආසන්නෙන් යන හැම පිළිතුරක්ම ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ඒව ලබා දෙන්න පුළුවන් ගැටලුවක් නෑ. Right, okay. Then we'll move. I think you get some idea about the syllabus and the question papers. Right. Here, normally they are having 6 questions. You want to give in answers for only 5 questions. Right. Right. Okay. Then I think you get some idea about question papers also. Therefore, we'll move to some content, syllabus content to understand. And the first thing, according to the first chapter, under management information system, then you want to familiar with few terms. The first thing is you want to familiar with few terms. These are the terms you want to familiar with: the data, information system, and types of information system. Right. Then once you familiar with this term, then you will be able to giving the answers for first question of your question paper. Right. Data, information system, types of information system. The same time you can write down some notes here. I will not give in much time to complete the term. However, I will give some times 1 or 2 minutes, then you can complete it. If you are not complete not in this time, then I will upload this presentation note to your WhatsApp groups. Then you will go through this presentation and complete the note. Right. Then we'll see one by one. First, try to identify what is data. What is data? Data, we can identify it as a collection of unorganized fact. Collection of unorganized fact. සංවිධානය නොකරන ලද කරුණු. By looking at the data, you can't make any decision. We can't use the data for the decision making process. දත්ත දිහා බලලා අපිට තීරණ ගන්න බෑ. තීරණ ගැනීමේ ක්‍රියාවලියට දත්ත කියන ඒවා භාවිතා කරන්න බෑ. One student asked through the chat box, "Sir, can you share the last week lecturing record?" මම හිතන්නේ අද දැන් join වෙන්න ඇත්තේ. Last week lecture එක දැන් අපිට අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. මම පැහැදිලි කරා දැන් වරුවක් විතර අරගෙන විනාඩි කිහිපයක්ම මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා. ඒතර last week recording එක මම දැම්මේ නැහැ. ඒක අවශ්‍ය නැහැ දැනට. ඒ නිසා දැන් මේ කරගෙන යන ටික follow කරන්න. මේකත් record කරනවා. මේ වගේ recordings මම WhatsApp group එකට දාන්නම්. ඒවා ෂෙයා කරන්න මේ පන්ති වලට සහභාගී වෙච්ච නැති අයටත් මේ මැසේජ් එක යවන්න. Right. We are discussing about data is a collection of data we can identify it as unorganized fact. Unorganized. Right. Here you can see some examples. Numbers. Numbers are some example for data. Here you can see some set of numbers. 10, 5, 35, 100, 200, 250. These are the numbers. Right? Just like just data. By looking at the numbers, you can't say any decisions. You can't use this set of number for any decision. You can't say anything by looking at the data. Right? That, for example, this data may be sales prices of goods and services. Right? This data may be marks of some subject of the students. We don't know exactly what is this data. This data may be some heights of students, marks of students, sales prices. Similarly, the data can be found in the form of words also. For example, Sri Lanka, then Lalit. Right? Name of customers. This Sri Lanka, Lalit. This may be name of customers or name of countries. Right? In that way, by looking at this data, you can't make any decisions. Then measurements. Another form, the data can be found in the form of measurements also. Then rainfall or temperature. Right? But by looking at this data, you can't make any decision. You can't say the maximum rainfall or maximum temperature. Only for reference. Data is available only for reference. Right? By the processing data, you will make some other kind of things that later we'll learn how this data is available. Data we prepare for more useful. Then another form is observation. Observation data. Right? The student behaviors or customer behaviors in the market. Then description of things. Description. That's also some kind of data. By looking at someone, you can say his or her hair color. Right? Then products A's color is green. In that way, you can identify the data. Right? Here in the first column says the form of data you can found in the various places. The form of data. The data you can be found in the form of numbers, words, measurements, observation, descriptions. Right? There are some other forms also available. The data you can be found in the form of voice also. Right? Pictures. In that way, there are some other forms also available. Here giving some examples for the data forms. And in the second column for the values that can be taken to data. The types of values that can be taken to data. Then last column say some examples relevant with these values. මේ table එකේ පළවෙනි column එකේ data අපිට හම්බ වෙන ක්‍රම forms කොයි විදියටද data හම්බ වෙන්නේ කියන එක තමයි numbers විදියට වෙන්න පුළුවන්, words විදියට වෙන්න පුළුවන්, measurement විදියට වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ විදියට දැනෙන ආකාර කිහිපයක් ලැබෙන්න තියෙන ආකාර. ඊට අමතරව තව ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. දැන් voice විදියට ලැබෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. පින්තූර විදියට data තියෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේ. මේ මැද column එකේ තියෙන්නේ ඒ data වලට ගන්න පුළුවන් values අගයන් මොනවද කියලා. දැන් numbers කිව්වොත් එහෙම මෙන්න මේ වගේ ඒවා තමයි 10 15 20 ඒ වගේ අගයන් තමයි ගන්න පුළුවන්. words කිව්වොත් එහෙම මේ වගේ නමක් ලලිත් ශ්‍රී ලංකා ඒ වගේ දේවල් ගන්න පුළුවන්. measurement එකක් කිව්වොත් celsius සංචක 15යි නැත්නම් 67 millimeters නේ ඒ වගේ එකක්. ඔය ආකාරයට ඒ දත්ත වලට ගන්න පුළුවන් values තමයි මැද column එකේ තියෙන්නේ. අන්තිම column එකේ තියෙනවා ඒ values වලට උදාහරණයක් දක්වලා තියෙනවා. මම පැහැදිලි කරන් යන අතරතුරම ඔයගොල්ලෝ note එකක් ලියා ගන්න. ඊට අමතරව මම 1 for 2 minutes given to complete. right, complete කරගන්න ලියාගත්තේ නැත්තම්. Right, I think you complete this one. Then that's about data. Then we'll move to the next term, information. Right, information we can identify it as processed data. That means once you collect the data, then you want to prepare this data in meaningful manner. Once after you prepare in the meaningful manner that data, we known as information. By looking at the information, you can make decisions. You can use information for the decision making process. Here you can see it's explaining as information is organized or classified data. Organized fact, that data we identified as unorganized fact, but information we can say organized, meaningful, classified data, which has some meaningful value for the receiver. Information කියනවා දිහා බලලා අපිට තීරණ ගන්න පුළුවන්. තීරණ ගැනීමේ ක්‍රියාවලියට භාවිතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. information කියනවා. ඒ නිසා ඒක meaningful things කියලා කියනවා. organized කියලා කියනවා. classified information. dataම තමයි process කරලා information බවට පත් කරන්නේ. Once you collect the data, then you want to process it. After processing this data, you will be received information. These information are meaningful. You can take for the decision making process. Right, here information is produced based on data. Here it is also important, remember that point. Information is produced based on data. Right, here look at the diagram here. The first you want to collect the data. You want to get the meaning of data. That earlier we did that. We know then what is about the data. Right, once you collect the data, then you want to process it. Then you want to send this data through a processing machine. This processing machine may be a computer or information system. That later we'll learn what is information system. The first thing is you want to collect data, then you want to process it. Once you process, it will produce information. Right. Then look at some example data. This data may be one example, height of students in the class. By looking at the heights of students, you can't say who is the highest, who is the person who get the maximum or highest height students, or lowest one, smallest student. You can't make say who is the lowest or highest by only looking at the heights. You want to process it. Right? You want to process it. Then another example here, marks of student in exam. By looking at marks, you can't say that particular student is pass or fail. Only a set of marks mean just a set of data. If you want to say that particular student pass or fail, then you want to process this data. Right? Then another example you can say at last, number of items sold per day. එක දිනයක් තුල විකුණපු items ගණන. items ගණන දිහා බලලා කියන්න බෑ මොන item එකද වැඩියෙන් විකිනලා තියෙන්නේ මොන item එකද අඩුවෙන් විකිනලා තියෙන්නේ කොයි area එකේද items වැඩියෙන් විකිනලා තියෙන්නේ ඒ වගේ දේවල් කියන්න බෑ මේවා නිකම්ම නිකන් දත්ත විතරයි. ඒතර මේ දත්ත වලට අපි මොකද කරන්නේ මේවා process කරනවා. process කරායින් පස්සේ බලන්න අනිත් side එක. Look at the right side here. Once you process the height of the student in a class, then you can say the tallest students. Then after you process, you can identify the tallest. That's the information. දැන් කියන්න පුළුවන් උසම එක්කෙනා කවුද කියලා. එක තොරතුරක් information එකක්. නේ? ඒ වගේ marks ටික අපි process කරොත් once you process the mark, then you can say the grade obtained by students. Once you process the items sold per day, then you can say profit of the day. These are the information for some parties. Then these are the data. If you want to convert data into useful information, you want to process it. Then how you are going to process? What are the things you are using the processing? The simple thing is computer. Normally, computers we are using to convert data into information. But in the business, we should want to more than that. Not just enough one single computer to convert this data into information. Right. That thing you get some idea about the difference between data and information. Right. Those who are not complete, you can complete it now. Before that, look at the under processing. There are some operations you can do under processing. Compare, average, addition or subtraction. These are the activities or operations you can do with the data. Once you do this operation with the data, then you will receive information. Now complete your note. Right, I think you finish drawing and note down the notes here. Here up to now we get the difference between data and information. Right? මතක තියාගන්න අපි දැන් මේක සම්බන්ධ නැහැ ගිය සතියේ කරපුවට සහ මෙතෙක් කල් කරපු කිසිම දෙයකට අපි මේ වෙනම සිලබස් එකක් කරන්නේ. දැන් ආපු දැනගන්න එක එකපාරටම මේ data information කරන්න මොකද කියලා බලයි. අපි exam වලට අදාළ වෙන syllabus එක තමයි දැන් කරගෙන යන්නේ. Right. Then we'll move to the next term. Right. Before that, you want to compare data versus information. This table also very important. This table gives some idea about data and information. They comparing data and information. First column here, some description. Look at the first column here, refers to data, refers to raw data or unorganized fact, unorganized. Before processing. Information, meaningful. After processing, you will get the meaningful things. That is called information. Right. Then what form you can find the data? In the form of data, normally you can find in the form of numbers, letters, measurement, or observation. But information you can find in the form of ideas and knowledge. Ideas and knowledge or experience also okay. Experience also you can find in the as a information. Right. Then when you are consider the decision making process. Normally, if you consider the data is not required for the decision making, but information, you must use information for the decision making process. Must necessary, that is why it is indicated as must necessary. But if you consider the data, it will not require for the decision making process. Right. Then represented in, normally data are represented in the form of tables, table forms, or data tree and graphs also we are using to represent the data. But information, you are normally using language. You are speaking language to say something. Information, you are meaningful information you are saying to others using your language. Right. Then collected, how you are going to collect data, the first data. You can collect data through the documents or in the form of discussion or observation. These are the some methods you are using to collect data. But information produce, not normally collect. Right? If collecting only data, once you collect the data, then you want to process it. After process, you will receive information produced based on data. That is why it indicates as produced based on data. Right? Information, not normally we are not going to collect information. We are producing it. How we are going to produce? Using data. Therefore, we should know how to collect the data. You can collect data through the documents, discussions, observation, questionnaire, like that. There are so many methods to collect the data. Right. Now you can complete the note here. Write down this table on your books. Right, I think you finished taking down notes regarding this comparison. It's explained what is data. It's compare the data and information. Right. Then we learn up to now what is data, what is information, the difference between data and information. Now you know how to receive information. Right. To receive the information, you need to process data. Right. Then to process the data, you want to collect. You need the data. Then you know some methods of collecting data also. Right. Then we'll move to the next term here. In data, information, then system. Right. To process the data, we need the type of system. Still, we don't know exactly what's the type of system we need to convert data into information. But we know some kind of system we need it. Therefore, we should want to familiar with the term system. And therefore, in this slide, explain what is system. Here, system is explained as collection of elements and resources that work together to achieve particular goal or task. Here, system is we can identify as a collection of resources. And also there are some other elements that later we'll learn the elements of system also. Simply, we can say system is a collection of resources that work together to achieve specific goal or particular goal. Each and every system having a goal or task. To achieve this task, they are consisting different types of elements and resources. These resources may be mainly two types: human resources and physical resources. Collecting human and physical resources, it will produce, it will help to achieve our goals. System එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ resources වල එකතුවක්. Elements වල elements කිව්වම එක sub system වගේ දේවල් තියෙනවා. මූලිකවම අදහස ගන්න system එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ collection of resources වල එකතුවක්. මේ resources කිව්වම human resources කියලා සහ physical resources කියලා ප්‍රධාන ආකාර දෙකක් තියෙනවා. ඒතර ඔය human සහ physical කියන මේ resources වල එකතුවක් තමයි system එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. ඒතර ඔය resources ටික හරහා ඒ system එකට පුළුවන් එයාගේ අරමුණට යන්න. goal එක achieve කරන්න පුළුවන්. Again, system is a collection of resources. Collection of resources. That resources are used to achieve specific goal. Here, elements. These are the system elements: input, output, subsystem, and feedback. In simply, you know what is input. Output. In a computer system also having input output, then subsystem and feedback. This may be new terms, subsystems and feedback. Right, then we'll understand what is these elements also. Then resources. Resources may be human resources. In a system, normally many types of human resources. In a school system, for example, in the school system, for human resources may be teachers. In the university, lecturers. In a hospital, doctors. In that way, system is the school. So school is the system. To work with the system, they need teachers, human resources. Then university may be a system. To carry out the functions of the university, it needs lecturers. That's a human resource. Hospital may be a system. To carry out the functions of the hospital, it needs human resources. One example is doctor or nurses, attendants. That way, we can identify the other the type of human resources also. Right. That's the one type is human. The other one is physical. Physical resources are the physical, the resources exist in physically, building, computers, textbook, right? In that way, vehicles. These are the some example for physical resources. Right. Then system is the collection of all things, elements and the resources. Right now, you can complete the slide here. Complete the slide here now. Right here, I think you finish. Write down the things here. If you are not completing, then after the lesson, I will upload these slides to your WhatsApp group. Then you can go through the slides and complete the note. Right, then I'm moving to the next part. Here, identify what is system. Then example for some systems. You want to familiar that earlier I mentioned some examples for systems, that hospital is a system, school is a system, bank is a system, right? Then educational institutes like universities, these are the railway, transport system. In that way, we should go to identify some examples here. These systems you can identify, you can categorize in this way: physical systems, biosystem, and social system. These are the main types of systems available. Physical systems are normally carried out by some closed location. It may be within a lab experiment, nuclear experiments, chemical experiments. All of these type of experiments you are carried out in a closed location. Right? Only a few people are allowed to access this type of system. It is sometimes danger for the external people, for the environment. It may be danger. Therefore, it need to be carry out the function of a physical system in a closed location, within a building, within a room, like that. Then biosystem, another type of system, biosystem. Right? It is mostly related with the animals, human body, living organism, some environmental things like trees or other types of features, animals. Biosystem. Then mostly we are considered on social system. Whatever the system I mentioned earlier, categorized under social system. Business organizations, universities, schools, railway, hospital, all are social system. That is actually open for both the person who inside the system and the outside the system. Anytime they can move with each other. Therefore, social system are the system that mostly close to the people. Right. Here, look at some pictures. This one for a physical system that carried out in a closed location within a room or building. This is for the picture for body, human body, inside the human body. That's called biosystem. This is for social system. Mostly people are engaged with the social system. But biosystem and physical system, it is rarely find the people. We are mostly considered on the social system. Right, that's about example. Then we'll see the system elements. System එකක් හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා elements අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලා slide එකක ඉගෙන ගත්තා. දැන් රූප සටහනක් කරා ඒක ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න යන්නේ. ඒ ඉගෙන ගත්ත elements ටික කොහොමද රූප සටහනක් කරා ඉදිරිපත් කරන්නේ? How we are going to present this system element through a diagram. Earlier slide, we learned the system elements, some example, input, output, subsystem, and feedback. Here in this diagram, you will see how organize these 4 elements through a diagram. Right. Normally, system have it with the subsystems. System consists of subsystems. Here indicate there are some relationship between subsystems. Then external rectangle here represent the whole system. මේ එළියෙන් දාපු rectangle එක ඉදිරිපත් කරන්නේ සම්පූර්ණ system එක. ඒ system එක හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ subsystems වලින්. Subsystem කීපයක් තමයි සම්පූර්ණ පද්ධතිය කියලා කියන්නේ. සම්පූර්ණ පද්ධතිය කියන එක the whole system we can identify it as the collection of subsystem. දැන් අපි system එකක් consider කරොත් මේකේ functions විවිධාකාර functions තියෙනවා. There are many types of functions available in the system. There are each subsystem are allocated to carry out these functions. For example, suppose a school system, make ඉස්කෝලයක් කියලා හිතන්න. Then what are the subsystems available for that? අර ඉස්කෝලේ ක්‍රියා functions ටික කරගෙන යන්න අවශ්‍ය sub functions මොනවද? Student, teachers, office, and administration. In that way, you can identify the subsystem. Right. Then remember, if you identify the subsystem, there are some relationship available between these subsystems also. Subsystems අතර relationship එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. දැන් university කියන එක බලන්න. ඒක system එකක්. එහෙනම් දැන් හිතන්න ඒ university කියන එක හැදිලා තියෙන subsystems මොනවද? University කියන එක හැදිලා තියෙන subsystem faculty වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Faculties. Then welfare unit එක වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේ විවිධ ආයතන තියෙනවා මේ සම්පූර්ණ සිස්ටම් එක ඇතුලේ. ඒවා තමයි සබ් සිස්ටම් කියලා කියන්නේ. ඒතර මේ සබ් සිස්ටම් ගත්තොත් ඒවට වෙන වෙනම අරමුණු තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. If you consider the subsystems, it may have separate unique purposes, unique goals. මේ එක එක subsystems වලට වෙන වෙනම goals තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් හැම එකක්ම වැඩ කරන්න ඕනේ එක මූලික අරමුණක් සඳහා පමණයි. Even though they have separate unique purposes, but together they should want to act to achieve one specific goal. Then look at the diagram. Right. This is the system, subsystem. Then you want to input physical and human resource to the system. That earlier I explained what is physical and human resources. These physical and human resources you want to insert to the system. Then only system start to working. To work the subsystem, they need resources. They need physical resources. If it is a university, then they need lecturers. If it is a school, then it will need teachers and physical resources also. Desk, building, computers, vehicles. These are the some physical resources. Then output. Because of functioning happening inside the system, it will produce product or service. In a normal system, it will give us a product or service. Right? Suppose this system is a school, then it will produce what? Is it a product or service? School normally giving services, university services, railway, hospital, all of these are normally social system. Mostly they are giving services. Some business system, they are giving products. Manufacturing organization, they are giving products. However, any system, they are giving output as a product or service. Then another role here, feedback. Feedback කියන්නේ system එකේ ක්‍රියාකාරීත්වය. Feedback is the process of modify the inputs, modify the inputs. Process of modification the inputs. And then you will understand it. What is feedback? Once you apply physical and human resources, according to this, the quality of this physical and human resources, it will generate product or service. Then finally, we should want to measure the quality of this product and services. If it is not satisfied with the target, then what you want to do is, again, you want to modify the physical and human resources. The process that is called feedback, process of modifying the physical and human resources. Again, I am explaining it. First, you want to apply physical and human resources to the system. After processing through the subsystem, it will generate product or service. Then we should want to monitor this product and services with the target. If there is a deviation between the actual things and the target, then there should be a reason. Once we monitor, we should identify some deviation between the what we got actual and the target. That means there are some thing happen. And then we should want to identify what the reason for that. This reason may be because of inputs. Resources, the weakness of physical resources or human resources. Then next time we are processing, then we should want to modify the human and physical resources. And after that, then again you want to process it. Again, you are comparing this what actually you got and the target. If you find some deviation again you want to do this feedback process. And feedback process එක කියන්නේ මේ වගේ එකක් process එකක්. මුලින්ම අපි system එකක් හදලා ඒක අපිට ලැබෙන්න ඕනේ දේවල් අපි target කරනවා. goal එකක් ලැබෙන්න ඕනේ goal එක target එකක් විදිහට තියාගන්නවා. සාමාන්‍ය business organization කරන අය දන්නවා. organized business එක ව්‍යාපාරය පටන් ගන්නකොට target එක අපි හිතමු රුපියල් 1000ක් පළවෙනි අවුරුද්ද ඉවරෙද්දී target එක රුපියල් 1000යි. profit එක ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒකට හරියන්න physical human resources දාලා ඔන්න ව්‍යාපෘතිය නැත්තම් business එක කරගෙන යනවා. ඒතර අවුරුද්ද අවසානයේ බලනවා අර 1000 ලැබුණාද කියලා. කියන්නේ actually ලැබිච්ච එකයි අර 1000යි compare කරනවා. right අපි හිතමු actually ලැබිලා තියෙන්නේ 900යි. නමුත් target එක 1000. එහෙනම් ඒකට හේතුව හොයන්න ඕනේ. ඇයි අඩු වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? එහෙනම් අඩු වෙලා තියෙන හේතුව අපි දාපු physical resources මදි. නැත්තම් human resources වල quality එක නැහැ. ඒ වගේ දෙයක්. එහෙනම් මොකද කරන්නේ? දෙවෙනි අවුරුද්ද ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලා අර human resources වල quality එක වැඩි කරනවා. මොනවා හරි training program එකක් දෙනවා. ඒ වගේ ක්‍රමයකින් human resources වැඩි කරනවා. physical resources අලුතින් ගෙනත් දානවා. දාලා දෙවෙනි අවුරුද්ද ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්න සලස්සනවා. එතන output එක ඔන්න අපි හිතමු 950ක් වුණා. කම්පෙයාර් කරනවා ටාගට් එකත් එක්ක තාම 1000යි. 18 ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ. 950. ඒ කියන්නේ තාම අපේ input වල ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා. එහෙනම් ආයි human resources සහ physical resources වෙනස් කරලා modify කරලා ආයි ව්‍යාපාරය කරගෙන යනවා. ඒ විදිහට අන්නේ process එක තමයි feedback කියලා කියන්නේ. Feedback is the process of modifying physical and human resources or inputs. Right. That's the fourth element, feedback. Then look at another element here in dotted circle. You can see red color. That is called boundary. Boundary is the place where separate the system and the external environment. External environment. Beyond the dotted line, dotted circle here, known as environment. Right? Outside the system. In other words, we can say outside the system. Normally in a social system, it is very difficult to draw in this boundary. But physical and biosystem, you can easily identify these boundaries. But in the social system, it is very difficult. Right? Because or most of the environmental things are affected, impact on the system. System activities are impact to the environment. Therefore, it is very difficult to identify this type of boundary in a system. Right, okay. You can draw this diagram by including these system elements. Before that, here, another element, monitor. Actually, monitor is the unit where comparing the target and the actual. That earlier I explained in it. At the end of some period, always we should want to compare our actual product with the target. That's a separate person for that unit. That is called monitor. Right, now you can draw this one. Right, I think you finish drawing the diagram here. Then I am giving the note for each element here. System element, then you want to you will be able to describe this one. Physical and human resource mean these are the things that input to the system. Physical and human resources. Right. The same time you can write down the note also. Physical resource, physical or human resources is the first one, first element of the system. These are the things that input to the system. Then product or service. These are the output or goal of the system. Product or service. That means goal. Then you, when we are giving the system, you will be identify the inputs and output also. Right? Comparing with the university, then try to think about what are the input. What input mean physical and human resources that earlier also mentioned. Human resources may be lecturers, demonstrators, like that. Physical resources may be computers, textbook, building, like that. Then think about the output, product or service in a university. Then what are the output? What is the output for the university? University its system is a social system, normally giving a service. Then quality degree holder. Quality degree holder may be the output or goal. In that way, once we give in the system, you will be able to define the inputs and the output. Subsystem. Then what are the subsystems? Subsystem are the small unit that work together to achieve unique goal. Subsystem are the small unit that are available to achieve the first goal, unique goal. Right? Subsystem. Then think about what are the subsystem available in the university system. What are subsystem available for that? Faculties. Then welfare unit, library, playground. These are the subsystems available to achieve the unique goal. Then feedback. Feedback, that the explanation I made it in earlier. In short, we can say feedback is the process of modifying the input. Then you can complete that one. Right here, I think you finish. Write down the note. Even not finished, then later you can complete it. Right. I am going somewhat fast because of our problem. We know that earlier I mentioned it. Again, I am reminded this is not the actually that earlier last week's throughout the semester we did mistakenly we did another syllabus. Right? It will not affect. It will not ask in question from the question that part. Our syllabus is something else. We are now doing the relevant thing for your examination paper. Right? Again, I remind you to do. Right, okay. Under that, we are discussing about system elements. Here, we identified physical and human resource, product or service, subsystem, feedback, then another 3 elements in the same system: boundary, environment, and monitor. Right. Then boundary mean place where separate your system with the environment. Right. Limit of the system. The boundary we can say in simply limits of the system. That I think you can remember the earlier diagram. The dotted red oval. This dotted red oval is the boundary. Limit of the system. Boundary define the limit of the system. Then if you consider the university system, then try to identify what are the limits. What is the boundary? It is very difficult to identify boundary for the social systems like university. Right? Always external activities are effect with the external activities. Internal activities are impact on the effect with the external activities. Therefore, it is very difficult to identify the boundary. Environment means the place where outside the boundary. the things outside the boundary of the system. Then monitor is the unit comparing your actual with the target one. And now you can complete it. Right. Here, I think you finish. Write it down, the things here. Up to now, we are discussing about data that earlier we identified what is data, we defined it. Then information, we defined what is information, identified some examples also. Then we compare the differences between data and information. Right. Then we move to the system part. We identified what is system, we defined it, then we identified the system elements. Under that, there are 7 elements in the system. Right. We use in the diagram, we identify these system elements also. Right. Then we'll move to another term that we know what is system. Then what is information system? Information system. Then you want to identify what is information system. And here it is explained. Information system. Normally, normal system giving in output as a product or service. In a normal system, you can identify the output either product or service. In a university system, they are producing a service. In the manufacturing system, they are giving output as a product. Then what is information system? Information system means specifically the main difference when compared with the systems. The main difference you can find through the output. That means information system always giving the information as the output. That today the most valuable part is the information. Right? All people are trying to access the information. Information are the most valuable. Therefore, there should be a various types of system producing information for the various parties. Various types of systems available to produce the information. They are giving information for different purposes. Right here, an information system is a system that produces information. That in the definition at explain, produce information for various requirements with the aid of information communication technology. To produce the information, it must get the help of information communication technology or ICT. Then only you will get the information for different purposes through the information system. Right. Then look at some examples for the information system. Here, say one example, weather systems. They are giving some information for us, right? That if you want to know what is happening the tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening regarding the weather, then you can go to the weather system and find it the tomorrow weather forecasting. Right? Then produce daily and predicted weather reports. What the weather system giving as output is daily reports or predicted weather reports. These are the information. It produces information. Then another example, business information systems. Business information system is another type of information system that produce information required to business. That produce information required to various types of businesses. Number of sales completed per day, the profit generation, how much profit generated for the particular sales or particular area. In that way, it produces information required to various business purposes. That is called business information system. Then similarly, another example is educational information system. Educational information system. Through the educational information system, you will have different types of information. Then your presentation, your exam result, notes, all of these things you can get through the educational information system. These are some examples for information system. Right. Complete your note now. Right, I think you finish, write down the things here. This is regarding the information system. That in short, IS stand for information system. The main feature is here when compared with the system is normally system are produced product or services as output, but information system produce information for various requirements as output. Produce information for various requirements. That's the main difference between when compared with the system. Right, here giving some examples also, information systems, whether business and educational. Right. Then we'll move to the elements of information system. Elements of information system. Like that earlier we learned the elements of normal system. In an information system, all of these elements are available. All of elements that we learn under system, these elements are available with the information system also. But in addition to that, some extra elements you have to identify. In the information, they are having with some extra elements. Now we are going to identify these extra elements that having with information system. Right. Then look at here elements, some extra elements you can find in this table. Left column under element, you can see that extra elements with having in the information system: computer hardware, software, and people. Hardware. Then look at hardware in the information system. Some example for hardware is the information system should have printers, routers, scanners for various purposes. Through the information system, people are getting printouts. In that case, they need printers. Through the information system, people are trying to communicate. In an organization, they are using some information system to send in messages for other persons, other employees. Or they are using information system to communicate with their remote branches. Right? Then in that case, they want to establish the network system between branches. Those who are working with banks that familiar with that point, they need communication with remote locations, remote branches. In that case, they need routers, right? Then scanners. In that way, there are various types of hardware devices should need to information systems. Under description, describe some requirements why we need hardware to create printouts of reports, scanning images, establish network. Right. That's about computer hardware that we need to information system. Right. Then also we need software. Right. For the information system, we can identify as a separate element software. Some examples: browsers, DBMS and communication software, antivirus software. And if you are maintain a information system on your business, then various kinds of threats available. To avoid these threats, you need antivirus software. Then your information system link with internet. Then you want to get the information from the internet. Then you need browser software like Google Chrome. Then only you can access the internet information. That's a software, browser software. Google Chrome means software. Right. Here explaining browsing, communication, searching, comparing, protecting. Right. If you want to search something, then again you need searching software. If you want to maintain a database, you need a database software. Right. These are some extra elements that you can find in the information system. Normally, you can't find these elements in the normal system. Only with the information system, you can find these elements. The first one, hardware. The second one, software. Then people. Right? The people normally you can find in the normal elements also. That earlier we learned that under human resource. And under human resource, the people are available with the normal system also. But in the information system, these people are specialized people. They should need expert knowledge regarding the information communication technology. Therefore, under information system, we identified them as a separate element. Therefore, information system having 3 separate elements in addition to normal elements, normal system, that is called hardware, software, and people. The people here defined as expert people to operate computer hardware and software people. Right. Then you can complete your note also. Right. Draw this table on your note. Right, I think you finished drawing the table here. So far, we learned about data, information, then compare data and information, then system, we learn system elements, then information system, right? We learn the difference between a system and information system. Under that, we learn also some extra elements available in the information system, right? Then we'll move to the examples or types of information system. These types of information system actually we want to learn based on the managerial structure of an organization. I think all of you are familiar with this managerial structure. That is not new for you. Most of you are working. Therefore, organization having some managerial structures. Then you know what is this managerial structure. Already you know the structure. However, I am introducing it. This managerial structure. There are three in any organization having 3 levels of managers. Based on these 3 levels, they are identified these 3 structure, organization managerial structure. Right. Then look at the diagram here. Each and every organization, these managers can be identified as operational, middle level, or top level. Based on these managers, they are dividing this managerial structure. The managers who are in the operational level called operational managers. The managers who are under middle level called middle managers. The managers who are under top level called top managers. Right? That this representation do through a triangle: top level, middle level, and operation. This top level mean the person who are at the top in the organization. Right? They are the person who making a major decision regarding the organization business process. Right? Launching a new marketplace or launching a new advertising campaign. These are some examples. The decision regarding these types of activities taken by the top level managers. They are the owners of the organization. Right? The president or managing director. Right? These are the some general manager. These are the some example for top level manager. They are the person who making major decisions regarding the regarding their business. The middle level managers are managers who convert the top level decision into actual. Top level managers are managers who get in the decision. Once they get in the decision, then it's sent to the middle level managers to get real. The middle level managers are managers who making the top level decision into actual. There are different types of managerial levels. Managerials you can find under middle levels: production manager, sales manager, marketing manager. Right? There are some examples. Then operational managers, who are the managers in the working plants. They are the actually who are the responsible to get in the actual product. Right? Operational managers are managers get the responsible to get in the actual real product or services. Who are the person in work plants? Operational managers. Now, here look at the line from bottom to top, mean responsibility, increasing responsibility. That arrow indicate the increasing. Regarding the responsibility, most responsibilities top level managers. The lowest responsibility having with operational managers. The middle managers are in between. Right. Then another line you can go, go through top to bottom. The workload. Right. Workload. If you consider the workload, many workload having with operational managers. They are the person who doing many work. physical work. Top level managers having less workload. Only their responsibility, their task is looking at the things inside the organization and monitoring the functions of the organization. And these are the functions of top level, monitoring the other functions. Therefore, their workload is, physical workload is less. But middle and operational level, they have to work hard. Right. That is about the organizational structure. Then, based on this structure, we are going to identify the information system. There are some information system available for operational level managers. These information system produce information that required to operational level, only for operational level. There are some other types of information system available for middle level managers. These information system produce information that require to middle level managers. Similarly, there are some other types of information system available for top level managers. They are producing only information required to top level managers. In this way, we can identify types of information system. Right? Here, this diagram explaining the organization structure. Top managers, here giving some examples: CEO, Chief Executive Officers, Managing Director, President, like that. Their task is planning, setting objectives. Planning and setting objectives. Then middle managers, department managers or regional managers. Some examples, their task is implementing the planning and objectives of top level managers. That earlier I mentioned it. Once top level managers take in some decisions, middle level managers who are the responsible to get actual, right, implement the top level decisions. Middle level managers, their responsibilities implementing the decisions of top level managers. Operational level, here some examples: sectional head, supervisors are under operational managers. Their responsibilities identify the problem in work plan. If they have some problem in the work plan, then they have to inform this particular problem to the higher level managers. Right. This diagram, draw this diagram also on your books. Here explaining the managerial structure, still not giving the types of information that required to each level. The next slide, it will explain in the types of information systems available to each level. Until that, you want to familiar with this structure. Therefore, drawing this one. Right, I think you finish drawing this one on your books. You want to complete this note, right? If you are not completed, then no problem. You can go through the presentation after this lesson, then you can complete it. Right. Then try to identify the different types of information systems available for these different levels of managers. Right. Examples of information system. Look at the diagram here. Again, you can see the 3 levels of the managerial structure. Based on these 3 levels, we are going to identify the information system. Right? That there are some types of information system available for operational managers. This task of this system is produce information that required to operational level manager. Right. Then another type of information systems available for middle level managers. Task of this type of information system is producing information to middle level management. Like that, top level, there are some other information system for top level managers. Their task is producing information for top level managers. Right. Then what are the types of these information systems? Then look at first